O Noah, disembark with our peace and blessings on you and some of the descendants of those with you. As for the others, we will allow them a brief enjoyment. Then they will be touched with a painful punishment from us. This is Surah Hud, verse 48. Now, the highlighted part is basically this specific part in Arabic. وَعَلَى أُمَمٍ مِّمَّن مَّعَكَ. Now, those who are familiar with أحكام التجويد, rules of tajweed, they are going to notice الغنن there's a lot of memes and there's a lot of nasalization الغنن in this specific verse. So that's why I wanted to kind of stop on it. If we try to look at this part specifically in a from a linguistic point of view, and try to cut it or try to bring it back to the original form in Arabic, that is. Let's do a word for word comparison, shall we? وعلى remains the same. أمم أمم remotely similar. It's the same. And then mimmen, the first, the Qur'anic form, mimmen, and the second one is minmen. It's kind of two words. This is a one word boundary. This is a two words boundary. And the last one, mak or ma'aka, if you try to carry on with the verse, mak and mak. It's practically the same, only the difference is there's a shidda on top of the meme. Now, why did this happen? What is going on? Why did we split mimmen into two words? Or why did we fuse two words to become one? What is going on? What is the shidda on top of the meme doing? What's happening? Okay, so if you have all these questions in your mind, we can answer them with one simple word, which is assimilation. Yeah. Well, assimilation, on general terms, is a phonological phenomenon that occurs when two or more or a cluster of segments or consonants they come in contact with one another. Now, said contact may result, or probably will result, in an alternation, kind of a distortion in pronunciation in one of those segments. You see? So, for example, let's go back to this one. Let's go refer to it. Let's do, for instance, umamin, and then there's minman. Umamin, minman. So in the normal pronunciation, no assimilation. We're trying to preserve all the words, all the letters. That's how it's supposedly pronounced. But if we try to kind of fuse one another for it to seem more like a natural pronunciation, we would say umamin, minman. Umamin min man, which is precisely why we've used min man into one word. You see here, look, the noon here fused into the meme, and it became meme with shidda on top. You see, meme mushaddada. That's basically what happened. The noon was assimilated, it was fused, it was merged with a meme, and they became one consonant. And that is the beautiful definition of assimilation in Arabic. We'll go to that in shortly. Okay, so try to exemplify here. For example, in English, when we say a good boy, that's basically the phonetic transcription, good boy. It comes out as good boy, where the d becomes b. Now that is assimilation. I'm not trying to say, if I try to sound native, if I try to sound natural, I'm not going to say good boy. I'm just going to say good boy, good boy. It's like the d is not even there, good boy. You see, that's assimilation. Now, of course, assimilation differs between languages. For example, in English, it might be spontaneous, just like kind of a normal informal speech or formal speech, whatever. It's spontaneous. We're not really thinking about rules or anything. In Arabic, though, it is rules based. That's what we're going to shortly, because in Arabic, it's especially when it comes to ahkam tajweed or rules of tajweed. I mean, they are called rules for a reason. So you have to think about them. You have to know the rules so you can do the assimilation correctly. So that, because assimilation, especially when it comes to Quran or rules of tajweed in general, and I'm not really specifying with assimilation, we are trying to preserve the meaning, we're trying to preserve the letters, we're trying to preserve the sounds, the words, you see. So this is why we follow the rules, to preserve something, just so that we can protect it from any alternation that can result from spontaneous act or so on and so forth, you see. So that's why we follow ahkam tajweed, that's why we follow the rules of tajweed. And so assimilation has to follow certain rules for the Quran to be preserved. And of course, we're not only talking about the Quran in general, or specifically, we can say that this happens or this occurs in language in general. I mean, Quran is, although the language that is used, or the variety of Arabic that is used is Quranic Arabic, and it doesn't really occur in any other context but the Quran, but it's still Arabic. And of course, we can find these rules in anywhere, in Arabic, in any varieties of Arabic, or any other languages, you see. Here's a funny example for those who watch anime. I'm not really, whatever. I noticed when I was trying to watch Attack on Titan, the main character is named Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager. And as a linguist, I was trying to pay attention to the language because I'm really interested in Japanese, and I think it's a really beautiful language. And I noticed that a lot of people, sorry, a lot of characters, not all of them, but majority of the characters, they don't call Eren Yeager like this, like in English, Eren Yeager. Like Eren is one word, Yeager is a different word. They say Ere Yeager, Ere Yeager. I'm not talking about the R at the end. I'm just saying the N and the R, sorry, and the Y. Yeah, you see? They don't say Eren Yeager. They don't pronounce the N fully when it's apparent. They just say Ere Yeager, Ere Yeager. I think that's really beautiful. And that's beautiful, really. That's a really beautiful example of assimilation, because it does occur in Arabic too. We say Eren here. The N that is not really followed, the N, whatever, is not really followed by any vowel. And so in Arabic, it's kind of sukun, there's no movement, there's no vowel. And so we say this nun sakina followed by ya. That's assimilation. You see, that's a minor assimilation, which we will move to we will move to shortly. Whatever, I just wanted to kind of put you in an image where assimilation exists in multiple languages, probably a lot of languages. And of course, it doesn't really it's the language, the rules here are not shared, but they can be, just like the na here. I don't know the origin of the word Eren Yeager. I don't know the origin of the name, but I heard it in a Japanese context, and that's where I put the assumption. So if anyone can correct me, I can definitely stand corrected. But let's move on. So it is a form of rapid speech purpose. It is often, sorry, for rapid speech purposes, of course, to make pronunciation way easier, to make it spontaneous, to make it sound more natural. You see, especially for those who are learning a second language, or you should try to pay attention to these things, because these instances are what differentiates you from an average learner to someone who's really targeting the fluency. You see, that's where the native speakers of the language pay attention to. That's where they differ, you see. So try to catch on these instances, just so that you can elevate your level a little bit. Okay, so yeah, here in Arabic, it is rules based, and in Arabic, it is called al-idghām. Al-idghām means assimilation. Linguistically speaking, the word idghām means fusion. إدخال الشيء بشيء آخر، إدخال شيء في شيء آخر. That's what it is. It means to fuse something into something else. And of course, this is what we're doing, trying to fuse consonants here, trying mad scientists going on those consonants and fusing them and see what comes up. So idgham, like I put here, those are two types of idgham that I personally like to think of them as, because if you go anywhere else, I don't think they're going to be divided into these specific types. But trying to make it more comprehensible in English terms, and easier to understand, of course, and so we can group them, I don't know, to make it easier, you see. So the first type, I named it syllabic. Why? Because, like I explained before, movements in Arabic, there are vowels, and of course there's a consonant with a vowel. In Arabic, there's no vowel without a consonant. You see, you can't just say and just like that. It's already a consonant. You see, in English, it's a glossal stop. It's not just a vowel. You see, so that's those are the things that make Arabic stand out from most of the languages. You see, and so in Arabic, a consonant plus a vowel, that's the syllable I'm talking about. You see, let's just keep it that way. And of course, so in terms of syllabic, we have major assimilation, الإدغام الكبير, and minor assimilation, الإدغام الصغير. Okay, so these, you can find these everywhere. They're not mine. Yeah. So الإدغام الكبير, major assimilation, is basically when we're trying to fuse one vowel, let's say one voweled consonant with another voweled consonant. You see, we're trying to move, so a consonant vowel fused into consonant vowel. That is حرف متحرك مع حرف متحرك آخر. You see, that's الإدغام الكبير. الإدغام الصغير, حرف ساكن, meaning consonant with no movement, no vowel, being fused into حرف متحرك, a consonant with a vowel. You see? So I hope this is clear for now. Now, the focus of this video is going to be major assimilation. I mean, this is the whole thing why I created this video. Major assimilation. Now, when I'm talking about, I have honestly studied the قراءة ورش, and in Welsh there's only a few cases of major assimilation. They're not a lot, so, and they are distinctive. Now we call them major for a few reasons. Follow with me. We call it major assimilation for a few reasons. The first one, a major assimilation is a fixed assimilation. What does that mean? Now, what do we mean by fixed? Let me explain it to you in like simpler English, normal words, so you can probably understand what I'm coming from. So, for example, the word impossible. This is an assimilation because in English, the prefix was supposed to be n plus the p. It was when we tried to say impossible with rapid speech, immediately became m. So now people write it with a m instead of with an m instead of an n. You see, and it's kind of emerged like that. You see, that's why we call it fixed, because it doesn't change. It's fixed now. It's no longer the way it used to be. You see, this is the correct form from now on. You see, and that's what we're saying here. Fixed assimilation. Sorry, this is what we're trying to say here. Major assimilation is a fixed assimilation. It's no longer the way it used to be. Even if it's two consonants fused into one another, they're no longer what they were before. It's the result is now the reality. You see? And so, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why. Sorry, I'm going all left and right. So the first one is major is fixed. It doesn't change. It's not going to go back to what it was before. And also, the second reason, we call it major because there's work to do. There's extra few steps to do so we could get to the assimilation part. That's as opposed to the minor assimilation. So let me exemplify. So for the major assimilation, this one is with vowel, consonants plus a vowel. We say CV, and this is a consonant plus a vowel. Now, there's a vowel here, I've already explained the strengths, like vowels are strong. And of course, the no vowel, sukun, no movement. That's the weakest form of all movements in Arabic. Now, of course, this is strong and this is strong. هذا معضل وهذاك معضل. They're gonna fight, you see. So we can't have two masters under the same roof. So one of them has to go. One of them has to lose the vocalic part to be fused into the other. This is why it's called idgham kabir. Now, as opposed to minor, this already doesn't have a vowel. This is already only a consonant, you see. And this is a CV. So obviously this is going to be fused into the other. But here we have to lose the vowel first. So in order for it to be fused into the other, you see, so that's a whole extra step that we don't really need to do. But if we try to, okay, probably saying, or these all these theories, let's just go to the examples. All right, let's just go to the examples. So the first example is فنعم ما هي. فنعم ما هي من سورة البقرة. فنعم ما هي. At the very beginning, it was something like this. فنعم 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 means it is a good thing. It is actually the best thing. فنعم ما هي. فنعم ما هي. فنعم ما هي. You see, so نعم here, the focus with me, shidda is already the same letter, or sorry, the same consonant fused together. That's why it's shidda. So here we have meme mushaddada plus another meme. Why don't we just make it one meme and call it a day? So this is it. فَنِعِمَّ مَا. Okay. And of course, later we're going to be, in another video, inshallah, we're going to be talking about the kind of this assimilation. It's called إدغام المتماثلين, where the same consonant, just different vowels, it's the same consonant. Ma or mu or mi, it's the same consonant, just different vowels, different movements. So in the same vowel, with the same consonant, if used, it's fused together. It's like here, نعم ماهي. We just keep it one and we call it a day. فنعم ماهي. Sorry, it becomes فنعم ماهي. You see, فنعم ماهي is kind of difficult to say. Instead, we could just simplify it into فنعم ماهي. You see, and of course, we cannot eliminate this. This is important because it's already mid. We cannot just neglect. A lot of people tend to do that, and so yeah. Here's another one. That the first one was easy. The second one, let's see if we understand it or not. تمنى تمنى. It's originally ta or ta. It's fine. Here, this is supposed to be ta for people who have ta'amanuna, but we do Warsh does tasheel, so we don't say ta'amanuna, we say ta'amanuna. Yeah, يسهل الألفات. Just like mu'minun, he doesn't say mu'minun, he says mu'minun, and so on and so forth. It's not a big deal. It's just differences between qira'ats. It's not wrong. It's just different. Okay, so ta'amanna. It originally was تامننا. تامننا. This is dhamma. تامننا. You see, and the na with dhamma, the first na with dhamma was fused into the second na with fatha, and so they became nun wahida mushaddada min asl الثاني. Let me give you the rule here. When both of the consonants are voweled or they both have a movement, they both take the vowel of the second consonant. Okay, that's the rule. So here we don't say tamannu or something like that because dhamma is stronger than fatha. No, it's the second consonant that takes the lead. Yes, okay, so tamanna here, the result is nun mushaddada min asl thani, from the movement of the second one. And I really hope you guys understand the talasim that I'm drawing here. Okay. Okay, the third example of the fixed assimilation, of the major assimilation, yeah. أتحاجوني. أتحاجوني. It was originally this way. أتحاجوني. Yeah. أتحاجوني. Yeah, so we can obviously tell which consonant was fused into the other. So أتحاججوني is a little difficult to pronounce, and so we fused the first D into the second جو, and they became جيم مشددة من أصل الثاني, from the nature of the second vowel, which, sorry, the second consonant, which is dhamma. It kind of fused into one another, and they took the traits of the second consonant. You see, the last one, مكني من سورة الكهف. مكني. So the origin of the word was, or yeah, the verb, that is, it was supposed to be مكنني. مكنني. Of course, this is an original shidda. مكنني. مكنني. So the first na was fused into the second ni. They became na mushaddada min jins, that has the same trait as the second consonant, as the second na, which is e. مكني. مكني من سورة الكهف. And yeah, you can tell why they became, oh wow, خزعبلات, this looks like dark magic. Um, you can tell why we call them fixed assimilations, because in the Quran, if you hold your mushaf, I don't know if that this has if it's the same case with, I think it is the same case with with Hafs, sorry. So if you hold your mushaf and you try to read, you're gonna find them with their fixed assimilations. Why? Because the first, or sorry, the original forms are a bit, not difficult to pronounce, but this form is way easier. I mean, that's what we have here. فنعم. Okay, so I believe this is the major assimilation. This is basically what we tried to, what I wanted to cover from this video. This is basically the point of the video.